I don't know if you were with me the other day, and I hope you were. I made a quick video on building the house yesterday, late afternoon. I did it with my cell phone, and I'm not quite sure how to post those yet because I don't have QuickTime on my computer, so I'm gonna have to upload QuickTime in order to play the videos that I make off my phone. And so here I am back here with my video camera, and I think I'm going to buy another video camera so that it works better, and because this one's taking a dump on me. And I was gonna use my camera on the cell phone as my video camera and get a little extension piece and put on my tripod and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not quite sure. I uploaded the stuff off the camera last night. It took forever, and then it wouldn't play because I don't have QuickTime to open those and all this other stuff. So hey, it's a work in progress. I'm gonna try to upload QuickTime, I guess, on my computer, and then go over to my editing and try to post it onto that, so that then I can open up the videos on my cell phone, and maybe just maybe they'll work, and maybe I'll end up doing that. Who knows? But anyways, look at this. They've poured all the floor in the garages, and the other day they didn't have any 2x6s down here, and see, they've already started to lay out the bottom plate and the top plate for the walls in here, and they've already started this wall, and they were able to lay it down here. So we know they're going to be doing that here shortly, don't we? That they're going to be building and working on this and lifting up these walls in the garage, all the way around the garage, so that they can then tie it into the rest of the house. Well, enough of that. Let's talk about this house, and I'm glad they put this down here, so now it's nice and easy to get up in here. And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to talk about here. I'm just getting my bearings on what they might have done today. Oh, I see. They've done some interior walls. They've done a few interior walls, because some of these walls I don't believe were here the other day. Maybe they were. I guess they were. I guess all of those walls were done. They still have these exterior perimeter walls to build, and they had a section in here, and see, this is new. I can tell this little section's new. This little section right in here, I believe, is new. I'm not quite sure. And so I know they've been out here working. Okay, they've been out here working, and they'll be out here tomorrow. But we're gonna talk about let's talk about sheetrock backing, drywall backing. Well, once they get all the walls built, then somebody's going to go around and check and make sure all of the inside corners. And I went over this earlier on another video, but if you didn't catch it, you can learn here. And if you did see that one, just follow along, and you might see some other things that I point out and stuff. And so for every inside wall here, like this wall going this way for drywall and this way for drywall, and on this inside corner, all inside corners, you've got to have another 2x4 for backing. And see here, this is a 2x4, not a 2x6, and I think they built a channel in here, and I call this a pig's trough. See here, there's one piece here, one piece here, and the flat 2x4 there, and they build that on the floor before they lift the wall up, and we call it a pig's trough. I don't know what they call it nowadays. And they'll do that on any wall that interconnects in the middle of a long wall, let's say like this, and a wall going this way. They'll do that. So see, right in here, they've got another one in there, and here's another one here, and they ended up doing the pig's trough with a 2x4, and a 2x6, and they ended up deciding to do that. And it just kind of depends how they're laying things out. And inside, let's see here, walls here that tie right into a long wall. That's how they do that. That way there's one on each side and there's a piece on the back so that this one can be nailed in there, and it's all kind of nailed together. See how it looks right up in there? Okay, and so that's just kind of how they do that. And it's a little different if they've got a wall coming off like just an L-shaped wall, you see, and they'll build it a little bit differently. And generally they'll take this here, and it's connected to another 2x4 over here, and that's like an L, and they lay that on the ground and they nail it together, and then that's your drywall backing. See, over here you've got it coming out this way, and then you've got the end of this wall here up there. See, this is the end of that wall that ties into that L-shaped piece that you've nailed together, and that's how you do that. And it's okay to have this one flat going that direction because it's nailed to another 2x4 like this on the outside, on the edge, see, over here, and that creates your outside corner. And so when you start looking at all the walls, you want to make sure they've got them all. And so we're just gonna kind of look, and usually when they're framing up the walls, they'll have everything done properly. Okay, we look on every, see how this taller wall is the 2x6 there, nailed to another 2x6 going that way, and so you just have flat there, and that's for drywall backing. That's the only reason that they have that there. If they didn't have that there, there's no way for your drywall to nail over at that end. You see what I mean? And so you've got that on your corners. Now see here, here's a 45-degree wall, and at this end, if you were to nail the drywall here, where are you going to nail the end of the drywall? Over here. You see? Down here, normally they wouldn't just nail the drywall and cut the drywall to here and then nail the drywall onto there. They might, but chances are they'll cut a little 45-degree trim piece and put it up in there, and they just haven't done it yet. And they'll probably also do that on the outside corner. They'll probably nail it right here so that gives more nailing on that, because this drywall here, if they were to stop it right there, there's really no nailing. I mean, they could do it, but generally they don't do that. Okay, and then you look on the inside corners, and for 45s is slightly different, and all of these walls look like the drywall backing is on there. I showed you the other day where I saw some walls that didn't have drywall backing, and just humor me here. Let's go over to where I found those from before. They're on that other side. Well, let's just take a look here. See where this wall here, they got why on earth would they have 4 2x6s nailed together? I have no idea why they did that, unless they're using these 3 as a 6x6 post, because there's a bracket, or there's a bolt here that they're going to put a bracket that they're going to bolt onto that. But see here, when they nail the sheetrock on here, the drywall, there's no sheetrock backing right there. Do you see that? Look at that. So then they'll take a 2x4 or something on the back side, nail it on there, and go all the way down, and that'll be their drywall backing. There's one place right there. You can just see that. Okay, I was gonna talk to you about other drywall backing up in the ceiling, but they don't have enough walls built yet. Let's just go over here. See, here's a wall here, a 45 degree angle, and where the drywall is from here over, there's backing here, there's backing there. They need to put another little 45 degree cut here for this drywall, unless they were to move this back. And see, they don't have this in the right place because this is where the wall is, not there. And they did that to get backing on the other side, but they didn't really have to do that. They should have moved this over, and they could have used this corner maybe as the backing, but they didn't. And see, over on this side, there's no drywall backing right in this corner yet, is there? And there's none from this piece over to there. So they still have to finagle something in there. And you see why they've done that. There's a bracket, there's a bolt right here that they're going to use a bracket. Look, they bent it over like that. I'm not sure how they're going to fit that on there. They might have to jerry rig something up in there and take care of that. Let's see if I can't, my beady little eyes can't find some other places that need drywall backing, and they might have already installed it. They might have already installed it. Okay. I think they have. I'm just quickly looking at the inside corners. Boom, boom. Drywall backing for this wall. Boom. Drywall backing for this little wall. Boom. Right there. You look over here. Here's one right here. See there? There's no drywall backing right here on this corner, and I think they left that out until they got that installed. Now that they have that installed, there's a line here, and they'll put a 2x6 from there all the way up because there's no backing there. Do you see what I mean? And it's very simple to see it now, isn't it? See here, there's no real drywall backing right here. They'll probably nail it. They can nail a flat 2x4 in the back side of this and let it stick out yay far, because this is right at the end, see? And they could do that because for drywall backing, when you have this here, usually you always get something there because they've only got this for the drywall, and the drywall's actually going to be, you know, this wide. And so there's no nailing there. Could they get away with just that? Yeah, they probably could, but generally they'll put something in there. Okay, and they did have a line down there. Do you see there? Boom, boom. But they couldn't because they had to put that bracket in there, and those brackets are designed there specifically to tie the walls down to the existing footings and the stem walls, concrete stem walls, and that'll help hold that down. And that they've got one there that they still have to install, and they have them all over the place. See how this one is? See there, they still have to put the nut on that right there, but they've got that attached down there, see? And that's how they did it. And I've seen it. I've seen on other ones where they've actually done it differently, where this bracket fits down tight to the ground, and then they bolt it in a different way. But you just have to look on your plans and figure out which way they're telling you to do it. And the plans will tell you. The plans tell you your exact story. Now see how this 2x6 here, they've got it set back set, and this is a 45. They might use this edge when their drywall comes across. The drywall will actually go all the way to here. You see where the inside corner is? But you won't nail the drywall right there because there's no backing. They might have to say, okay, 1.5 inches back, we're going to hit this little bit right here with our drywall nails or screws or however they're going to do it. And they'll probably just do that without cutting a piece of wood that's a triangle all the way up through there. Do you see what I mean? On that one, they might do that. Okay, so I'm looking at all of these inside walls, and it looks like most of the drywall backing is there. Here's a wall here where the last 2x4 is right there. It's not in the corner, is it? Well, even if it was in the corners, it would be hard to nail the drywall because you've got this angle like that, right? And this looks like a long little closet right in there, so they ran the 2x6, the 2x4 back a little bit so that maybe they can get their screws in there at an angle because they can't get the drywall in there. properly. You see what I mean? They'll put this sheetrock in here first, and they can use their drill from here right through this opening and screw it onto there. Then when they put this one in, they could maybe hold the drill at this angle and sink those screws in. And usually most drywall nowadays is installed with screw guns and drywall screws rather than sheetrock nails. You know, it just depends who's going to be installing the drywall for you. And look at that. This 2x4 is already cattywampus down here. See how far off it is? That's because whoever's nailed it probably only has one nail there. They'll probably have to fix that because even up at the top it's crooked. You know, before they install the drywall, somebody will come around and they'll check all of these. They'll check things to make sure they're not sticking out of the wall. Because see, with this thing crooked like that, see how far this sticks out of the wall? It's probably because this one's bowed too. Because there's no way they're going to put the drywall on here and nail it like that. You see what I mean? And so somebody will go around and they'll check that and they'll straight edge it and they'll put a level on here. Anything that's got a big old crown to it, a bow to it, or a crown, they might take that off with an electric planer, and then on the other side they might take little strips of cardboard. They have them yay wide in about an 1/8 or a 1/16 thick, and then they'll put it on the ones that are dive bombing the wrong way to fill it back in, and then they'll staple them. I've seen them do that. There's all kinds of stuff they can do to fix things later on down the road. This 4x6 I see is really crooked. I don't know, I'm not quite sure why they've done that. See, this one's kind of crooked too. But see, they got a 4x6 right in the middle of the wall. Well, apparently on the plans, and see, here's another 4x6. Maybe they're going to use this for a bearing wall to a certain extent. Up on top of that, wherever the rafters are hitting for some reason, or maybe that's for something entirely different. For some backing inside the wall. Maybe they're going to install some big old huge flat screen TV and they wanted extra backing. Who knows? But it'll be on the plans. That's just how everything will be. And so all of your walls, all your inside corners. See here? Here's one right here. This piece isn't really enough for the drywall unless they ran the drywall this way first, maybe just barely got it. So maybe they're not going to put a 2x4 in there or not. If they run this drywall first to here and then just barely screw it in before they install this drywall. If they were to install this wall first, then their drywall is going to stick out too far. And then there's no sheetrock backing right here, and usually they don't like to do that. This will be the last one, and there's nothing on the inside corner. They don't normally, for houses, they don't do that. When you're doing metal stud walls for commercial work, they do it slightly different. They use sliders on the walls and all that kind of stuff. Well, you don't do that on residential. Okay, so that's pretty much all this particular video was going to be about. I'm gonna look around and maybe we'll do something slightly different after that, but maybe we'll just talk about some headers real quick. See, this header here is supported by a trimmer. This is called a trimmer, this 2x6, because it goes up to the bottom of your beam, and then they always install a king stud that goes all the way up, and then they nail through the back of that. And then this one is the one that holds the most weight, and then they still, with all those nails, that still holds some of the weight too, but you always got to have a trimmer. And so see, on this side there's a trimmer. Sometimes they install double trimmers. And see over here where this small 4x6 is, it's not, or 6x8 maybe, it's not really expanding very far, is it? And look, there's two 2x6s underneath it. See right there? I don't know why they've done that. I have no idea why they did that. Oh yes, I do. I do know why they did that, because right after that they've got two more that go from top to bottom, and now they've got it next to an area where they're going to put one of those brackets, and then they're going to use these screws that go not only through the first one but into the second one. So that is in lieu of a 4x6. They could have put a 4x6 post in there, but they decided to do it this way, and to make up the extra gap they just ended up using an extra 2x6 there. Okay, but see this beam, see this header up here? There's no trimmers underneath it, is there? Look, right there and one right there. And I'm not sure why they've done that. Maybe it's because they just haven't installed it. They forgot to do that. And see, they ran a 6x6 in the wall there. Here's a bigger bolt that's here. They'll put a through rod here, and this bracket is going to be bigger than the smaller bolts. Does that make sense? That'll be a bigger bracket there, so that's why they put this 6x6 in there to ram those extra screws and those lag bolts into that, rather than just two 2x6s. They could have done two 2x6s there. I've seen them do that in other areas, but they've decided against that. And see, here's a 4x6 beam post using for a post there. Here's a 6x6. Here's a 4x6, a 4x6, another 4x6, and they must have had to have done that for a reason. I'm not exactly sure why, but of course it'll show you on the drawings. Okay, and see, some of the interior walls are 2x6 walls, meaning 6 inches wide, 5 1/4 inches wide, as opposed to a 2x4 wall. Most of the time you see interior walls, they're all 2x4 walls. Well, here there's 2x6 walls, and then there's also 2x4 walls, and there's a reason for that too. I'm not quite sure what it is, but they've made the determination and decided that. It'll be interesting now to see the rest of this go into place once they get the rest of the perimeter walls done. I'll come back, and actually, when I was here the other day, I believe some of these walls weren't framed yet, were they? I think it was these right in here. So they've added these from the other day, and they've been busy. I try to stay out of their way during the days. The contractor said I could come over here and make videos after work and stuff, and once they start doing things on the interior, maybe I can come over here when the day they're hanging the drywall. That's pretty interesting to see, or the wall insulation when they're installing that. But anyways, we're still at the framing stage. This is what your house is going to look like at this point. Not pretty cool? And you just have to make sure that you got a couple guys who know what they're doing framing, and you can be out there helping them. You know, they'll give you plenty of jobs to do, helping them frame. When I first started, you know, I was a grunt boy. I had to do all kinds of different things, and I just learned little by little as I went. And just like you're going to learn little by little if you've never actually framed a house. Okay, but like I say, the most important thing is looking on the plans, reading those plans, knowing how to read the set of plans, how to measure on the plans, how to look at the variables, the site elevation plans, the roof plans, the isometric drawing plans, the electrical plans, mechanical plumbing plans. All of that is going to be on your full set of plans that have been approved at the building department. Okay, all right, I think I've talked enough for this particular video. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos, and I sincerely hope you are enjoying these videos as much as I enjoy bringing them to you. I've always enjoyed checking out job sites, and always enjoy, like I say, making videos, especially stuff like this. Okay, all right, I'm out for now. That's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos, and I'm just admiring the last bits of the sun had gone down there. There's no sunset over there, but the clouds up this way, it still has some coloring from the sun that went down over there. And I'm just enjoying that just for a minute longer.